There are also serious developments in the occupied West Bank. Violence against Palestinians by both settlers and security forces has skyrocketed since the October 7th attacks by Hamas, and they've risen further since this war began. 10 Palestinian civilians have been killed this month alone, and troubling reports continue to emerge about heinous abuse and aggressive evictions. Israel's ambassador to the United States claims it's only a tiny minority perpetrating these acts, but says it is a serious problem for Israel's reputation. Meanwhile, in Gaza, a disarmament proposal has been submitted to Hamas by the Board of Peace, with Hamas expected to respond soon. Now, حسام زملط is the Palestinian ambassador here in the United Kingdom and joins us in the studio. Welcome back to our program. Just react to what the Israeli ambassador said, that it's only a tiny minority of people. Nonetheless, it really does hurt their reputation.
Tiny minority of people in Gaza, he means, or in the West Bank?
In the West Bank, committing these crimes.
No, this is a state-sponsored. We shouldn't call it settler terrorism. This is a state-sponsored, direct complicity by the army and involvement by the Israeli army, as per UN reports. And this is a very organized terror campaign.
When you say state organized, clearly the Prime Minister never condones this kind of stuff. Actually, let me just have what he said. The former Prime Minister, Naftali Bennett, told me this.
I have zero tolerance for any sort of illegal actions against the Palestinians. And it's been investigated. And I stand behind all investigations because Israel is a democracy with rule of law, and I insist the law abides. But to put it in context, there is a huge amount of terror against Israelis as well, and it's tough.
He's lying. I mean, for a decade, with all this rising level of settler terrorism backed by his government, there was no one prosecution for 10 years. Not one settler was brought to justice. And you know how many hundreds of Palestinians have been subjected to terror, violence, and murder at the hands of the settlers. So no, this is a state-sponsored terrorism, straight and plain.
So the reason I got that answer out of him was because of a heinous crime that was committed by settlers this week in the West Bank. There was a man, Abu al-Kebash, you obviously know the story, said settlers beat him, stripped him, zip-tied his genitals, and our Jerusalem correspondent Jeremy Diamond spoke to him, and this is his testimony.
وربطوا رجلي، أخذوا الحزام يعني الشاط، قطعوا هذا يتقطع، ها شايف كيف قطع، وقطعوا البوكسر اللي لابسه، وربطوا عضو ذكرهم كتفين ويضربوا فيه وجروني من هناك وحطوا علي مي والتراب.
What was going through your mind when that was happening?
شو قتلونا قتل موت، قتل موت.
What's your reaction to that?
This is just one example of many. And this is not just the last few weeks or months. It's been on for 80 years. Krishan, thank you for having me back. But the last time I sat on this chair with you was on October 7th.
I've had you back since.
On October 7th. And I warned the world through you and your program that Israel will use the events of the 7th of October to declare and start a far greater attack and aggression against the Palestinian people. Effectively warning that we will run the risk of genocide. And look where we are today. Look. And it is very important that we remember that we have been saying ever since that Palestine is not only the litmus test, but it's the crystal ball for what is coming. Gaza has been flattened. Almost 2 million people, if not more. Most of them are in tents. No aid is getting in, restrictions. Israel refuses any national or international presence in Gaza. It is only after chaos, disintegration, and it is now exporting this model to the region. They are dropping leaflets in Lebanon telling them we are doing to you what we have done in Gaza.
They're not just dropping leaflets, they've actually said it publicly. The defense minister said it publicly, yeah.
And therefore, This is one of the gravest moments of our history. But we should not just be discussing the current war with Iran.
Just while I have you on this issue, because I want to ask this issue, I'd said that Bennett responded to that particular attack on Al-Kabash, but actually it was on the killing by the IDF of a family of 4 in a car. That's what I was asking him about then. But nonetheless...
Did they bring their soldiers who opened fire on that family to justice?
We're following it.
They did not. You know how many soldiers have... You know there were British citizens murdered by Israeli soldiers all through the years. Never once justice was served in the way it should be, as he claims, by a democracy. But the conversation is not about this incident or that incident. The conversation is about an 80-year-old campaign of complete mayhem in the region and of Israel wanting to reign supreme in the region.